Morning, CFFW. Today's Wednesday, and we've got a good one planned for you, so let's go over it. Today we're doing a WOD called Marathon. It's going to consist of quite a bit of running, and then 26 reps of a handful of different movements. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First things, this is going to be 2 rounds for time. You're going to start with a 400-meter run. You're then going to do 26 hand release push-ups. Then you will run 400 meters again, 26 kettlebell swings, 53, 35 as far as RX weights go for those. You will then run 400 meters again, 26 sit-ups, run 400 meters, 26 deadlifts, 75, 55, run 400 meters, and then you will do 26 air squats. You will then run 400 meters again, and then do 26 box jumps. Prescribed box height would be 24-20. I know a lot of us are limited on equipment that we have today, so feel free to get creative. Like these kettlebell swings can obviously be done with a backpack. Same with the deadlifts. And those box jumps can be done onto anything kind of you have at your access at home, anything you have access to at home. Like I said, this is going to be 2 rounds for time. This is going to be a longer WOD, quite a long chipper. So keep that in mind when kind of planning out your day. Scaling options for this. First one I would go to would be only doing 1 round of this. I think that you are still going to get a really good workout from only doing 1 round of it. But if you're up for it, then do both of them, okay? Let's go ahead and talk about movement standards. First thing is those hand release push-ups. Remember, when we start those push-ups, we're starting with those arms locked out at the top. We're coming all the way down. My hands are coming off the ground, and then I'm pushing back up here, okay? Making sure I'm maintaining a nice stable midsection. My arms are locked out throughout the movement at the top, and then when we finish the movement, they're locked out again, okay? Scaling options for this would be to do the same thing on the knees. Hands would come off, and then back up, okay? Those would be probably the 2 scaling options I would go to for these, just because they are hand released, all right? All right, kettlebell swings. Like I said, these can be done with a backpack. They can also be done with a dumbbell if you don't have a kettlebell. We've done quite a bit of these lately. Again, if you are doing them with a backpack, you are only doing Russian kettlebell swings, okay? All right, so that setup, remember we've got a nice neutral spine here. I'm pulling those shoulders back and down. From here, I'm gonna swing the bell into me and then bring it straight up overhead, finishing with that bell overhead pointed up and arms locked out, okay? So that covers our kettlebell swings. I feel like I've gone over a lot of these during quarantine. All right, sit-ups. If you have an ab mat, I would recommend using one. If you don't, they can be done without them as well. You want to start with that thicker part of the ab mat next to the tailbone here. Legs are out. They can also be in like this. There's kind of different schools of thought on how you cycle those faster with the legs like this, because you can push off at the top. As long as you finish the movement sitting all the way up, that's fine with me. So you're going to start with those shoulder blades on the ground and then come to a fully seated position here, okay? Making sure, like I said, that we're sitting all the way up on your butt when you're done, okay? To cycle these faster, remember you're going to push off here and back up and push off, okay? So that covers our sit-ups. Let's talk about deadlifts. Today we are going to be doing a really light deadlift. I see a lot more injuries with really light deadlifts than I do with heavier ones. So form is still going to come into play on this, even though it is light, okay? If we were in the box, we would be using a barbell for these. Again, if you don't have a barbell, you definitely have the option of using whatever you have at your disposal, whether it be a backpack, kettlebell, you know, whatever you can kind of load some weight into or pick up off the ground to kind of simulate that same thing, all right? So set up for the deadlift. Remember, we want that bar nice and close to the shins. We're going to start with those hips slightly elevated. Remember, I'm activating those lats, so I'm pulling that bar into my shins here. And all we're going to do, hips and shoulders are going to rise at the same time, and we're just standing up to extension, okay? What I don't want you to do is lean back at the top. Remember, we just want those hips to extend. Then from here, I'm driving the hips back, tracing the bar down the leg, and rebending to get that bar on the ground, okay? So there's our deadlifts. Let's go ahead and talk about air squats. Again, these aren't any stranger to you guys during quarantine, but we're still gonna go over them. I'm gonna always start with those feet shoulder width apart. I've got my chest up here. I'm gonna drive those hips back, making sure I'm getting that hip crease below knee crease here, and then extending at the top, okay? That extension at the top is important, okay? Doing this isn't gonna count today. I really want you guys to work on that full extension. All right, last but not least, those box jumps. Like I had mentioned, prescribed height is gonna be 24-20 for these. If you do not have a box, you can jump onto a step, a bench, kind of, again, whatever you have at your disposal. RX box jumps are gonna be a 2-foot takeoff and a full extension at the top. You can then jump down or step down. Scaling option for these would be just to step up and extend at the top and back down. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go through that whole thing 2 times. If it's, you know, it's quite a bit of movement, quite a lot of running. So like I said, should you choose to, even if you want to do 2 rounds because you really want to focus on the movements here, then go ahead and run 200 meters every time. Like I said, my preferred scaling option would be just to go all the way through as written 1 round. All right? Okay, good luck everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.